Bye, have a great time.
ADR, this is your favorite Latin King, King Black, coming back at you once again. And I want to title this video a very important lesson that I learned from my mother. And what's about to follow, some of y'all are probably going to be laughing at or think it's dumb, but it's probably one of the most important lessons that I have carried with me throughout my childhood, through adolescence, into my adult life. And that is, don't make fun of anybody. And especially nowadays, it seems like everybody's clowning on each other. And I'm not talking about bullying, I'm talking about making fun. Bullying is one thing. I mean, you're actively directing uh, harsh words towards that person, whereas making fun is doing it behind their back. But you shouldn't look down on people, and this is why. Because you never truly realize how almost everyone that you meet in your life has something of value to them, has something to offer. That kid that you're making fun of that's wearing them high water jeans, them flood water jeans, always into anime and stuff like that, and your friends are making fun of them every day. Like, but little do they know, or that that person has a talent. He's a he or she is a good artist. Could draw some really good stuff. They're good at singing. They're into some of the same things you are, or even if they're just good at listening. We're too quick to make fun of people for their outward appearance without remembering that every human being is complex. You know what I'm saying? Some of these people that you may want to make fun of, some of them are very smart and intelligent, and sometimes they're the only people that you can turn to. Let's say that you're having a hard time in class, middle school, high school, college, and you need help. But the friends that you hear, or if you're a part of it, making fun of that person, the friends that are making fun of them, I'm not doing much better or doing a lot worse than you. But that person that you guys are making fun of got straight A's. And, when that person sees that you haven't been making fun of them, that you treat them as a decent human being, they're more willing to help you. They may contribute something to your life that you didn't expect. They might not become your best friend, and I'm not saying you gotta hang out all the time with these people, but you have to deal with people decently. You have to realize that we all got our problems, our issues, our downfalls, our strengths and weaknesses. Just because somebody's really into math and art or whatever things that you are not, the complete opposite, doesn't mean that they can't be useful. And I'm not saying to manipulate people. What I'm trying to say is build a amicable relationship with the people that you meet, because you never know how far down the line you may meet that person again, and you may need something from them, or they can help you with something. Maybe they can solve a problem that you have that you didn't even know anybody can help you with in your immediate group. Usually, like, I have seen this play out in my life, especially around middle and high school. The kids that people didn't want to really be around, I had no problem talking to them normally, even though I already had my set group, my set lifestyle, my set type of things that I like to do. I never ignored that subgroup of people. I would go up to them and just talk to them, and if they were in my class, You know, I would talk to them like a normal human being. You know, I wouldn't say, "Hey, come to my house," but you gotta treat these people with the same respect you want to be treated. You know, respect is a two-way street. You know, some of those timid people from high school, middle school, elementary, some of those that were bullied, some of those that people thought were so hilarious, you know, they have grown up to become some of the most successful people out there. You know, while the same friends that you hung around with in middle school, high school, clowning on them, are living in trailers, in jail, doing things not right, you know, or looking to you for you to lift them up. You know, you should always be trying to surround yourself with people who are at or slightly above your level, who can help you reach further in your life. You shouldn't be surrounding yourself with people who are only looking for you to lift them up, to give them things, to give them a ride, to buy them things. Because the very first time you say no or you say you can't, guess who they stop calling? Guess who they call the bad one? You. You know how easy it is to forget that the kids or the people we clown on, you know, have their own strengths, have their own talents, even if they're not necessarily the most social of the bunch. You know, it's always good to remain on friendly and neutral terms with everybody and not make fun of somebody. Because you never know when you're in the deepest, darkest hole in your life. The only hand that may reach out to try and help you could be theirs or could have been theirs. You know, you don't want to grow up with regret because things have a way of coming back on you. You never know if that kid that you clowned on, someone in your life, turns out to be that same way. You know, a niece, a nephew, your own kids, your own son, your own daughter, or may be have some kind of disability, mental or physical. And you know what's gonna start going through your mind? You're gonna start remembering the times that you made fun of people like that, and it's gonna hurt you because you can't go back in time. That's the one thing many people wish. You know, if I would go back in time, I wouldn't do this, I wouldn't do that. But it starts now. You know, whatever age you are listening to this, 9, 7, 15, 21, 40, 30, 60 years old, you know, it might seem cute to you in the moment to be making fun of people, but in the long run, you're only hurting yourself. You know, you should be seeking to expand your network, expand your circle, not to close it, because you never, you'll be surprised. And I would say more than 80% of the time, positively, of the things you gain by befriending or being on neutral terms with someone that you otherwise wouldn't be, you know. So that's the most important lesson and value my mother handed down to me, was to not make fun of others. You know, growing up, I didn't have, you know, the best everything. You know, I didn't even have a cell phone. You know, back when people were starting to get them when they were 15, 16. But you know what? I was always with mine, but I also made sure to not leave those that others leave behind in the dark. I used to always try to include people into things that they wouldn't normally be able to experience. Invite them to lunch, talk to them over lunch, and I discovered a whole bunch of things about people that I wouldn't otherwise had if I didn't do those kind of things. So that's all I want to say, ADR.